you know what can circle the Earth 2.5 times? Some people may answer the stars, the moon, or the sun. In fact, the answer is our blood vessels. Our blood vessels are extremely long as they are required to carry essential nutrients, oxygen, water, hormones, and white blood cells to 60 trillion cells in our body while transporting metabolic waste out from all of these 60 trillion cells. This is called our cardio-cerebrovascular system. Blood vessels function as the highway system of the body. When they are blocked, the affected cells will slowly die due to the lack of oxygen. Cerebrovascular health. If our circulatory system is impaired, the blood vessels in our brain will become clogged and hinder nutrient distribution, thus causing brain cells to die. Gradually, we will experience poor memory, forgetfulness, frequent dizziness, headaches, and migraines every day. Sometimes, even paracetamol or painkillers may not be able to relieve the pain. If this worsens, it may even lead to a stroke or permanent paralysis. In Malaysia, 100 people suffer from stroke every day. There are 40,000 incidences annually. That's a terrifying figure. According to experts, if a person who suffers a stroke fails to reach hospital within 2 hours, he or she may die. Experiencing memory loss and stroke is quite serious. That's why we should make sure our cardio-cerebrovascular system is healthy. Cardiovascular health. If the blood circulation to the heart is impaired, it will cause dizziness, shortness of breath, fatigue, and chest pains, as well as irregular heartbeat, whereby the heart rate is sometimes too fast and sometimes too slow, and finally, heart attack. If the blocked artery is not cleared within 3 hours, 90% of the heart cells begin to die due to the lack of oxygen. Once brain and heart cells die, they cannot be brought back to life. Cardiovascular disease has been the #1 killer in the United States for over 100 years. 1 out of every 3 people suffers from cardiovascular disease. In Malaysia, it is estimated that by year 2020, 7 out of every 10 deaths will be caused by cardiovascular disease. This is even more severe than the United States. Sexual well-being. Poor vascular health can lead to genital problems. The first thing men worry about most is the loss of earning capacity. The second is depressed libido and infertility. A low sex drive does not only affect men, it also affects women. Lastly, poor vascular health can lead to liver and kidney problems, poor appetite, swollen feet, puffy face, cold hands and feet, as well as slow healing of wounds. Some risk factors that cause poor circulation are smoking. Smoking produces free radical and leads to the hardening of blood vessels, thus increasing the risk of paralysis. Lack of exercise. According to experts, twice weekly exercise helps to promote good blood circulation. Age. Cholesterol begins to build up at the age of 10 and starts to cause the narrowing of blood vessels. Stress. Career-minded individuals are often stressed and busy with work, which can cause the constriction of blood vessels. Fast food, such as hamburgers and hot dogs, will deprive the body of oxygen supply, thus causing blood vessels to harden. The blood sugar of diabetic patients increases blood viscosity and slows down blood circulation. Hereditary factors. It was reported the youngest heart attack victim in Kuala Lumpur was a 15-year-old who had a family history of heart disease. That is scary. Heart disease can also occur in young people. Finally, obesity, hypertension, and high cholesterol. If you have scored 3 out of any of the above 10 factors, your risk of heart disease is 30 times higher than normal. Let's take a look which is our body's engine that determines our cardio-cerebrovascular health. The foremost is definitely our heart. Our heart must have 100% energy in order to circulate blood for 365 days a year. Our heart started pumping when we were in our mother's womb. How does the heart operate? Just like our feet. Open, close, open, close. Repeat this 20 times. you will find that your palm starts to tire after 20 times. In fact, our tired feet is like the heart. Our heart needs to beat 70 times a minute, 100,000 times a day. It cannot stop but sometimes need to work overtime. But it can never call in sick. It has to work even when you sleep. It never gets tired, but it's our hardest working organ. Although our heart is so small, it moves 7,200 liters of blood every day throughout the entire body, equivalent to a truckload of blood. In fact, it is extremely exhausted. That's why we need to protect our tired heart. The second is our blood vessels. Our blood vessels are 100,000 kilometers long and must be 100% elastic in order to deliver nutrients to the 60 trillion cells in our body. The third is our blood. All of our blood must not be thick so that it can flow smoothly. Free radical damage, smoking, stress, and eating deep-fried food can cause blood to become thick. This is the anatomy of the blood vessels in the heart. You can see that as fat builds up, blood becomes thicker and plaque begins to form and narrow the blood vessels. This means that the heart has to pump harder in order to circulate blood, resulting in an increase in blood pressure. If the force of the blood flow is too high, it may continuously injure other endothelium tissues. This causes the hardening of blood vessels as this vicious cycle continues. That is why a heart operation surgery to unblock arteries may be required to be done not only in one area, but in many areas. Cardiovascular disease has been the killer over 100 years. Yet there is still no cure. Elken, a company that promotes health and well-being, is fortunate to have discovered a comprehensive formula to assist in cardiovascular problems. Due to the complexity of the cardiovascular system, it requires a multi-ingredient formulation such as Livextra. The cardiocerebral vascular system requires best types of formulation. How do you determine which is the best? The formulation based on a Nobel Prize-winning discovery. After all, the Nobel Prize is the pinnacle. Livextra contains two major functional ingredients. The first is L-arginine for the blood vessels. The second is other synergistic nutrients for the blood. When we drink Livextra, L-arginine produces a miraculous gas called nitric oxide. It acts as an immigration officer in the body as it rejects illegal immigrants such as plaque. Nitric oxide can keep our blood vessels elastic while slowing down plaque formation to keep our blood flow smooth. Livextra contains folic acid and many other vitamins to help blood stay thin and smooth flowing. Men usually have thicker blood due to a higher intake of meat, while women with a sweet tooth have thicker blood as these foods cause the blood to become sticky. Livextra is developed in consultation with Nobel Prize winner by Dr. Farid Murad. Dr. Murad has 2 medical degrees and 8 honorary degrees from universities. He is a great physician who discovered a drug-free solution for the #1 killer in the past 100 years, heart disease. His spectacular discovery and contribution earned him the Nobel Prize. Dr. Murad visited Malaysia in 2006 and held a symposium at Malaysia's National Heart Institution (IJN) to share his formulation with over 100 Malaysian heart specialists. Livextra is formulated with natural ingredients and has a natural orange flavor. You can now drink a glass of orange-flavored juice for your cardiovascular health. It also has a low glycemic index, making it suitable for diabetics who are worried about high sugar content in foods. Livextra has obtained TGA, GMP, and Halal certifications, so Muslims can consume it without any worries. What are the benefits of a healthy food circulation? Cardiovascular health helps to regulate blood pressure, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. Cerebral health promotes reactions between brain cells. Executives, businessmen, people who attend regular meetings or have active or stressful lifestyles can take a nitric oxide supplement to help improve mental alertness. Sexual well-being. enjoy a more intimate and harmonious marital relationship. Husbands are sometimes powerless to please their wives, but some experts have pointed out that nitric oxide helps to improve more than 90% of the penile dysfunction. L-arginine is very important to impotent men and is sometimes seen as a natural Viagra. When your overall blood circulation is healthy, it can transport nutrients, oxygen, water, and hormones to every cell in the body, while simultaneously discharging bodily waste. This will help to keep us youthful so that we can experience overall good health, vigor, and beauty. When brain or heart cells die, they cannot be brought back to life. Do not underestimate cardiocerebrovascular problems. Start protecting your family's cardiocerebrovascular health today.